William, W-I-L-L-I-A-M, Vurdick, V-U-R-D-I-C-K. I appreciate all of the comments regarding the potential pollution of the water, the turtles, the snakes. My concern is a little bit closer to home. I own land that touches the south end of the proposed compressor station. Okay. About 4 months ago, I would have had my family come tonight. About 4 months ago, my daughter, youngest daughter, she's 3 years old, she was diagnosed with leukemia. And I can assure you, that type of a strain is phenomenal. Okay, adding to that, the potential of there being a compressor station on the north end of my property is just about incomprehensible. I just about can't understand that. At first, I was kind of ignoring it because I was busy with my daughter. She has chemo for at least the next 2 years. And then I come to find out, speaking to my neighbor, that there are going to be 2 20,500 horsepower compressors that are natural gas powered, sitting up in that compressor station, and in the report there, it actually says that they will be a significant causer of greenhouse gases. And so the wind does blow out of the north a lot, and so that blows right down over where our house is presently. I also have the concern of the construction of this right on the north end of my property. Basically, one of the underlying themes that the doctors have brought up time and time again as my daughter goes through chemotherapy, she has no immune system. She has literally no white blood cells in her body. The first thing they say all the time is stay away from construction zones. We live in the middle of the country. The construction zone comes to us. I must have a target on my back. The incidental pollution past the construction phase also concerns me. We're talking about polluting the water. We're talking about polluting the air. We're talking about noise pollution. All of a sudden, the quiet house that I have for my wife and my kids, our family, is going to be subject to these 18-hour burn-offs where they're literally going to be sitting there burning off the natural gas or something, is in another one of those reports. I'm not interested in that either. My third and my biggest concern is probably a little bit further out there. Probably doesn't happen as often, but it only has to happen once to really mess up somebody's life. Is the neighbor that I have just to the east of me is a firefighter, and he has this dandy form here from the Pipeline Association for Public Awareness, Revision 0. And I guess he's done a lot of communication with Sabal Trail. It's going to be a 36-inch pipeline running about 1,400 pounds of pressure. The minimum evacuation distance is 3,071 feet if there's an issue. And it says here, this is the accepted limit of heat exposure for unprotected outdoor areas where people congregate as established by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Okay, it does not take into account wind or other factors which may greatly influence specific conditions. That concerns me. I have 8 kids. They play outside. And so this is telling me they're playing outside next to an unexploded bomb. And I don't appreciate that because that means in a moment's notice, we're not at the edge of 3,000 feet. Okay, this is my backyard. My property is 1,000 feet long. And this is my backyard. Okay? And that concerns me very, very much. The final concern I have, and I'll be brief, is when we bought the property, there are 2 hills on it. We put our mobile home on the front hill. The back hill was higher. The plan was to build a house there. In your paper here, what I need to know, or your booklet, it talks about the noise levels will be, kept to a minimum of 55 or maximum of 55 decibels to any established dwelling. Well, now all of a sudden, where we wanted to build a house is closer to where the compressor station goes. So now all of a sudden, our shot at the American dream gets blown to kingdom come. I guess we can build really thick walls and really insulated windows or something. But this does not seem acceptable to me on any level. And it's disturbing enough that I would leave my daughter right now, who goes back to treatment on Monday, and